Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander at Forge Alliance Forever. This is the final game of the best of 3 we've been covering between Nexus and Turin. There's Nexus Seraphim and Turin UEF, and the map is Point of Reach V4 20 by 20 map. Probably maybe the best 20 by 20 map, to be honest. One of the best anyway. So we have 2 large expansion islands, lots of mass on them, but very spread out. Hydros on each island. And a lot of water. So let's see what the builds are gonna be like. So this is also the best of 3 from the Masters Cup. I think it was quarterfinal. And it's 1-1, obviously. It's the final map. So Turin assisting immediately with an engineer to build those initial buildings as fast as possible. You do have, because you start with quite a bit of resource, you can see he just got rid of all of his resources very quickly. He's already generating some power. Whereas you can see Nexus is not generating any power except for this one P-gen. And he still has mass in the bank. But the difference is he's gonna get the Hydro a bit sooner. Hydro is a lot more efficient than T1 P-gens. Much more efficient. And where is Turin going? Okay, this is very weird. This is really weird that he's immediately sending his ACU without building. What? Alright, well, let's just take a look here. Nexus is about to start his air factory. He's gonna have 10 P-gens total, 5 Hydros worth 5 power generators in power income. And you can see Turin is still 2 P-gens away from even starting his air factory. This is really strange. Nexus didn't build a scout. He's going straight for a transport, and he's going to bring a Zui with him on that transport. Now, when you're loading transports, the most important thing is to actually stay away from the ACU with the units that are trying to get into the transport. Because the AC will not get out of the way for any of the units, and they'll just bump about 20 times before they comply with the command. So off Nexus goes with his transport. He paused this guy because he had no power, I guess. Needs to remember to unpause him. And now Turin has his air factory. I mean, this is like, what is going on here? Really strange build from Turin, but whatever. He did assist his land factory a lot with engineers to get a lot of build power out, so that he could, well, replace the build power that's been walking all this time. Unusual. And now both of them are going the same place. Nexus drops 1 engineer here to get these 4 mexes quite quickly, and then he's gonna, well, he's not even gonna build a factory, it seems. And he's gonna get to the island first, of course, and Turin sees that. Yeah, a scout was just killed here by this Inti, so the drop was spotted, and Turin just decides to drop the other side now. And that's probably a good decision, because this arty would have been quite nasty. Now he does have more engineers though. I mean, he has 6 versus 3, but maybe he just didn't want to. I think that Zui might have just killed him. So he's going to drop the other side. He's going to be a bit slower to expand than Nexus. There's a nice faster expansion thanks to this engineer, and overall Nexus higher score. 2 air factories now, and he's going to add a naval factory quite soon. 2nd air factory from Turin, and a T2 mechs. with adjacency, so nice and a bit cheaper. Nexus has actually paused his. And now Turin is going to take this pretty much uncontested. No one using bombers. Well, now that I say it, here we have a bomber. This looks more like, well, maybe it would be routed here if there is some challenge for the island, but I don't think there's going to be. I think Nexus is going to use this transport to expand. Look at that. He gave the order. He gave the order to load into the transport, then queued up the mexes, and then when the engineers dropped, he immediately continues his build queue. It can save a bit of time. But now a lack of power, and see the mass income. Ooh, Turin stalling, yes. Yes indeed. And he has both his factories paused. Now he's laughing. Yeah, he needs to stop assisting the factory though. This is painful. And he has a lot of engineers building power now. That XD was for that for the power stall, I'm pretty sure. If you're still stalling after you pause all of your air, then you're in a pretty bad spot. As a rule. Nexus, what's going on with him? Not much. Again, lacking power. I think we're going to see some T2 air maybe soon. More mechs is going to be built. So no battles over the islands. It's just about taking your side and then deciding where to go from there. Always adding some eco because this game could go long and you have a lot of mass to spend. And not many easy ways to do damage at a very early stage. I have a Zui raid over here. Could be a bit annoying for Turin, who still has his air pause. He's really struggling for power. Build the hydro. Yeah, at least he's getting some power reclaim from these trees. They're actually grouped, so worth taking. And he's mostly expanded now on his left island. Very relaxed opening. Looks like a bombing raid over here. Already 2 mexes have gone down. Not bad. Nobody making units. We have 1 frigate out so far. T2 air has started for Nexus here in this factory. The Zui successfully raided the whole island and killed an engineer as well. This bomber still killing stuff. There goes 2 mexes. All 3 mexes that died here. NG battle. Nexus gonna win. This engineer is already a bit low. I think maybe that was the round 2 of the NG battle. Judging by this unbuilt structure here. Nexus wins it. Have some arties, some units here, so maybe they'll be dropped. And the transport's coming over, but there are 2 scouts in the way. So, needs to take those out. But if Nexus pays attention, sees arties being built here, he should probably expect an arty drop coming, and he's flying right overhead. Let's see what he sees. Oh, he's doing a drop of his own, and it's landed. Now needs to move. Oh, he brought some engineers. He wants to build a factory, which is ambitious, but he has an anti-air, so he could potentially kill some bombers. And he has the tank as well. And he has everything. But he's going to lose his units. Oh, 1 dodge. One of the engineers have decided to instead capture some mexes. Not a bad choice. This tank doing well, killing the arties as they come out of the factory. Massive power stall though. Holy shit. Yeah, he desperately needs this T2 power now. This is a very nice drop though. I mean, Turin was investing stuff into defending. That's a drop coming way deep into the base. Rather than landing here for some reason, he lands over here and there's a radar, so it could be spotted quite far away. And Turin's drop has failed, but he does have T2 land, T2 air I should say, and gunships. He's making his T2 PGen now. The frigates moving out. I think making some frigates a lot earlier is quite good because you have so many mexes here which can be attacked. Especially these ones like back here. Quite vulnerable. Frigates can run around a lot. Of course you have this island. Although they both raided this island with a Zooey and a bomber. Frigs can also do nice work killing these mexes. Nexus is ahead on mass, and he also has some mass in the bank, so he's probably going to be tempted into upgrading even more. Yep, 3 on the front here upgrading. And 2 on the island. And who knows, there could even be more. Yeah, there's one. Well, you know, it's a common question, how do I eco? The answer is you upgrade your mexes. That sounds like a piss take, but I mean, what do you need to know? Just click T2 mex and then try to try not to stall power once you get all the mass, and then have enough factories to spend it. That's it. It's very simple. So more frigates, more units. What is the plan though? Turin has T2 in his ACU. His gunships haven't done much. They defended here pretty well, but hasn't done any real damage with them. You have an air factory going up. Maybe he's going to build the transports at the front. Has no power. Oh, okay, there we go. Very quick tactical missile. 60%. They're going ACU TML. Oh, he's doing it while making a T2 PGen, which is painful. More factories being added. Where's the transport? Is it ready? I don't see the transport anywhere. Now we have the gunships raiding. Oh, there's the transport. Gunships trying to do some raiding. They're going to only just kill a couple T1 mexes and die though, so maybe not the best use of them. It's only really worthwhile if they kill upgrading mexes in my opinion. But sometimes it can be nice. And here comes the ACU. Where's he dropping? In front of the base here, and we can see a lot of T2 mexes for Nexus here. This ACU TML could be devastating. What's the air situation like? Well, we only have 11 frigates. We have 30 inties. That's not that many. A bit more for Nexus. A lot of them are out of fuel, and we don't see any air staging going up. Also a bit of a mass stall for Nexus. So he tries to finish some mass extractor upgrades. See this one upgrading, this one. And building storages. I don't think he has any clue whatsoever that there's an ACU about to TML all of these mexes at the front. There's no TMD whatsoever. And there's not that many frigates either. There's a few subs. Oh, T2 Navy. And it's being targeted straight away. Has he even got a single T2 naval unit out? Oh, this was the first one that just gets out of the factory, and now T2 Navy is dead. XD in the chat. Feels bad. This attack on the left though, bombers and artillery moving in, trying to do damage, kill mexes, engineers, units. And now they air fight, and Nexus rushes in, and his inties are not cooperating with him, but I think it's going to be a close fight. And Turin, oh no, I think that was bad micro from, well, maybe both of them, but it looks like Nexus has just lost air now. He'll try and save what he can, but he only has, well, nearly about 10 left, so that went quite badly. Now the subs move in, and there's a destroyer here, which should easily deal with the frigates once the jamming disappears and shots stop getting wasted. And Turin has killed this T2 naval factory and not much else. Where did the other missiles go? He's killed one T2 mechs here. There goes another one. And another one gonna go down. He can kill this one. Can probably kill that one. It might get blocked by terrain. I think the main base is protected by this huge cliff here. Oh, he's getting back in the transport. He left one behind. He left a mechs there, ready to be killed. I mean, what is he? There's only one destroyer, so I guess he is afraid of that one destroyer. On the left, those annoying T1 attacks with Zoes and bombers have been doing very well. Oh, these all got bombed most likely. Mexes are dead, and the air factory has died. And there's almost no mexes left on this island. There's just one mex left, so this entire island has been raided. Now we have Zoes raiding the right island and now attacking T3 Navy. T3 naval rush from Turin. He's dropped now back to his main island to stop a drop that has killed a T2 mech, 2 T2 mexes and 4 T1 mexes most likely. And he's rushed T3 Navy. He's going for a battle cruiser now. And you can see, look at his economy. It's in tatters right now. 112 mass versus 186. And power income, Nexus also about 700 power ahead. Has 4 T2P gens. And now he has surely seen T3 Navy by now. And his HQ is now all the way over here. Probably trying to protect against ACU TML. He hasn't built TMD on his island at all, so he could still take massive amounts of damage on this island. I mean, 1 TMD to protect all of this, a couple for these two at the front, and he'd be a lot safer. But let's see, we only have 1 destroyer now thanks to the HQ getting killed, and the battlecruiser is about to come out. And that is going to mop up pretty much anything that Nexus has in the water right now, because he has frigates and destroyers. 1 destroyer, I should say, and a couple of T1 subs. A lot of T2 mexes from Turin, but yeah, he needs to replace all these dead ones quite quickly. Still trying to do some of his own raiding here. 6 kills on this gunship. Some T1 mechs has gone down. And the battlecruiser is out. Some frigates in front of it. Oh. See how quickly it just chews through those frigates. But the destroyer looks like it's going to get away. Tries to kill a T2 mech on its way out, but fails. Oh no, it doesn't. But now it's actually stopped running away, and it's going to get completely annihilated by the battle cruiser, I think. Oh, nearly. And that's going to leave some reclaim. But definitely damage taken, and this drop on the front did quite a lot of damage, and it was only, I think it may have only been a T1 drop of T1 transport with some Zoes on it. What is the reaction from Nexus? Is he gonna go T3 Navy? He Isn't planning on it right now, it seems. He's probably going to go T3 mechs. If I had to guess. I think he'll just start upgrading a T3 mechs when he realizes he has 4,000 mass. It's doing drops now onto the main expansion. Oh, this one could be really nasty. There's units coming over to try and take them out. Nexus starts moving immediately so that he doesn't lose a lot of artillery to a single Lobo shell. Frigates raiding T2 mexes as well. Oh, this could be really nasty. How many mexes can he kill here? There's gunships, and the inties are blocking the artillery shots. He needs to take off again so he can block more. He's now landed. So many shots blocked by the inties, and look, the shells are spread in a very strange direction. And it looks like quite a few dead mexes. 1, 2, 3, all the storage is dead. I think this last one won't die. Oh, 3 more T2 mexes over here. Nasty stuff for Turin, and he's quite slow taking back some of this mass. Damn, his eco is in even worse condition now, and now we have more RT drops planned. I think Turin needs to make the ACU TML work again. Again here, no TMD. I mean, Nexus just doesn't care about the ACU TML, it seems. So maybe Turin needs to re-enter the fray. Could make T3 before he tries to drop it, and then he could defend himself a lot better with that ACU. He could defend with, make T2 torpedoes and torpedo defense. T3 Navy is idle now, and the battlecruiser needs to look for more damage. So far it hasn't done very much because Nexus retreated all the way back to his base and hasn't been moving out because there's no need to. He's just doing damage with drops, and these, look at these, the amount of damage these Zuis have done. There's the hydrocarbon. Torpedo bombers take out frigates, but another T2 Mex has gone down here. And now this whole left island is dying to Zuis and frigates. No, that's a cruiser. That's not a frigate. Saying the wrong things today. Battlecruiser versus destroyer. There's another dead destroyer. But they submerge, and so they're pretty much under no threat from the battlecruiser now. And T3 Mex has dropped his ACU. He didn't go for T3, he's just dropping. He has shields, he has 2 cruisers, and he has a battlecruiser, so he does not feel scared. But these destroyers can come in and definitely snipe shield bolts, snipe the cruisers, because of course they're underwater. And there's no real there's no Coopers here, so no defenses versus the torpedoes of the destroyers. So Nexus could just move in right now and start taking out some of these weak units, and then even force the ACU to try and run away. Because with that much damage, the ACU would die quite quickly. He could actually kill him with these 6 destroyers. Another one. 7 Seraphim destroyers now underwater, doing damage for free. And the ACU TMLs are flying. There's 2 T3 Mexes here. Just 1 TMD, imagine, 1 TMD, and that's a pretty small investment when you're defending T3 Mexes. T3 Navy is finished finally for Nexus. He didn't want to go to T3 Navy with Turin, rather to do damage in other ways and just defend. And still he's keeping his navy alive. He's not fighting this, but he definitely could do something with the Seraphim destroyers. Could just move in and start killing a lot of stuff. So maybe he's realized that now and he's moving towards the ACU with these submerged destroyers. Cruisers now in range to do damage. T3 mexes could go down here. He needs to finish those off. They need multiple TMLs. And there's still more T2 mexes here. I mean, there's so much stuff to kill here. Keep firing, dude. All the destroyers are coming towards him. And the Zuis. And now the frigates may move in afterwards. Finally, some Coopers are arriving on the scene. Later than perhaps they should have been. There's this island is just dead forever thanks to a few Zuis that have never been cleaned up, it seems. No radar, most likely. And on the left side, another T2 drop here, being annoying at all times, is Nexus. This island's still completely dead. No one even trying to take it. What is going on in this game? Seems a fitting end to this series after what we saw from the previous two. Now, will we see T3 air perhaps? Yes, actually, I've missed that. T3 air, T3 PGen, torpedo bombers incoming. And finally, these T3 mexes are going down. Ouch. How far can he reach? He can reach the T3 naval HQ. Now, if a battleship comes out of there, it will defend. It has TMD. But it's gonna have, the battleship also is gonna have to move all the way around here, and all the rest of the navy is over here. He could come around this way either. But either way, he's gonna be completely separated from his most of his navy with that battleship, because there's so many destroyers over here. And while they're submerged, they can do a lot of damage. There's still only 3 Coopers. That's not that many, really. And now we have an air fight. That Nexus looks like he's conclusively winning. Nexus also looks like he has quite a good number of frigates. And there's still only 1 battlecruiser. And it has been microed well. It has avoided a lot of damage, and it's about to get its first vet level, but this still looks very dangerous. These cruisers can defend. The Coopers are now coming into play. But this battlecruiser is losing its life rapidly. All of these are submerged though, so they're not using their lasers. If they came out of the water right now and used their lasers, I think it would be maybe even better. But Turin surely just dies to all these destroyers now. I think that has to be what happens. I mean, there's no way to kill the... Oh, he could get under... I think he was trying to get under the destroyers so that he could TML them from underneath, which... I think I first saw someone do that. It was Mephi on Eye of the Storm. Casted that on my channel. Another battlecruiser is coming up, and Nexus is leaving with the destroyers. Doesn't look like he wants to kill Turin. He could kill him with the torps, I think. But he's gonna clean up all the navy that he can, I think. Time to come out of the water now that there's no battlecruiser around to fight these destroyers. Has to now replace his economy. There's a lot of naval wrecks in the water here. This could still be TML'd. And this one. But Turin is just in full retreat mode. He has a transport nearby. And the other battlecruiser's coming up. Turin's getting chased down. There's a pack of orcas. Torpedoes blinking off his armor. Doesn't really care. Just getting a back massage. No interest whatsoever in this island. And now the T2 land HQ goes down to a single cruiser. That's not nice. And this whole island is mostly dead now. There's no tech mexes. There's a single There's just a few T1 mexes. The rest are dead. There's nothing on this island except this one T1 mex. So it looks really good for Nexus. He's had T3 air for a long time as well. He's now making some ASF. He finally has a battleship. Wait, hang on a second. There was a battleship building. It was almost finished the last time I looked at the at the factory, and here this is it. So yeah, and this one is just milling around because it's blocked in by all the factories. That's probably what happened to the first one as well. Yes. Once the battleship is unstuck, he'll win the game. It's not getting unstuck. Oh, go on, you can do it. Oh my god, kill your T1 factories. He knows it's stuck because of the factories, but he won't kill them. Oh well. I think he can win the game with destroyers anyway. Some of them submerge, some of them not. I think just submerge all of them, go in, kill everything. So you can use the versus longer range units, you can submerge, then get into range of them, and then re-emerge on the surface and start using your lasers. There's a lot of ways to use the Seraphim destroyers. They're quite... You can do a lot of micro with the dive feature. You start getting surrounded by frigates, for example, immediately submerge, and then you can reposition and get some free damage in while you're submerged. And of course you can submerge the... Holy shit, dude, come on. You can submerge the lower HP ones so that they aren't susceptible to above ground attacks, and they'll probably survive a bit longer and give you some damage from underneath as well. Turin's still in the front line. What can he reach now from this further back position? Well, he could have killed this. He's in such a precarious spot. He can't take anything on the map. He has just no plan to take back anything on the map. I don't know what his plan really is. But now these battleships have TMDs, so they can actually stop some of these missiles if he tries to fire over them, past them. You can see here, tactical missile defense. A lot of large T3 ships have that. This battleship is still here. Do something about it, please. Here's the... Okay, one more escaped, it seems. And I think... Oh man. Now the cruiser is being targeted. The battle cruiser has finally has a rival in this battleship. Cruisers under fire. This one's gonna go down. You usually want to aim for shield boats and cruisers. That's what you want to aim for. Probably in that order. Shield boats die to a single torp bomber pass. They have 750 health on them. And once the shield boats disappear, then the cruisers become a lot more vulnerable, of course. And actually now they're out of position and getting hunted down by destroyers. The navy is disappearing fast, and these shield boats are going to go down now. And Turin has to snipe, really. Has probably had to snipe for quite a while. And Nexus is here. This is not safe. I mean, it's not really a good hiding spot, in my opinion. I mean, frigates can be sent this way, and if a load of torp bombers come for you, you are dead. As you're far from land, you can't get away from torpedo bombers. So he is vulnerable to being sniped. I don't think Turin has spotted him though. He does have scouts in the area, and now most of his navy is gone. Still have a couple of shield boats. No, we have one half HP battle cruiser. Now is this game even more retarded? Nexus says yes. Hard to say. Oh, the shield boat's stuck. That's it. GG. And Turin wins it. No. No, he doesn't. Nexus wins it. Always getting names mixed up. Nexus wins it 2-1. Quite few spectacular games there. Very interesting series overall. Maybe the quality degraded slightly as we moved through the different games. Turin, well, I think he could have done a lot more damage with the ACUTML early on with the first drop. The second drop with the battle cruiser rush, I mean, was something. And he did kill a lot of mexes with that ACUTML. 24,000 mass killed, and none of that really with his gun. All with the tac pack. T3 mexes went down here. A lot of T2, but he let his whole 2 expansion islands die to Zuis and T1 bombers. The drops were really good from Nexus. Dropped on the main. Dropped on multiple times here. Had some factory spamming, and also then the cruiser just moved in, and Turin just gave up on these islands, honestly. No other way to describe it. And he couldn't prevail win the Navy, so that's it. GG. Well played, both these players. Very nice series. It was also casted by Patrick live, and he said he put this series up on YouTube, but he hasn't done it yet. So I think you can probably watch it on his Twitch channel. And that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed this one, and you'll tune in soon for the next one. I'll see you then.